So really budget is managing your spending. That's really all it is. It comes down to budgeting your spending. But what I like to do is a lot of people think of the budget as being a straitjacket or a restriction. I can't spend but X amount of dollars, or the budget's trying to limit my spending. I want to try to flip this around and approach it from the standpoint that if you do this correctly, your budget should help you so you can spend more money on things you like and enjoy and less money on some things you don't like or don't enjoy as much. And that is, if you understand where your money is going, you're able to move it around and change some things more. So if we completely look at a budget as a helpful tool as opposed to a straitjacket or restriction, that I believe helps you understand the budget better and makes it easier for you to work on your budget and maintain your budget. The other thing is, to be successful, you need to understand what your money personality is. Now, we're not going to ask everyone what their personality is, but just want you to understand that different people have different personalities in regards to dealing with money. A lot of us really got our money personality a long time ago, probably from our parents when we were relatively young. But, some examples of money personality is, some people are savers. By default, they're always squirreling away some extra money every bit they can. Others are spenders. They get a adrenaline charge out of going and buying something. And they're usually spending on a regular basis. Others are debtors. And not only are they spending money, they don't really even care that they are borrowing money in order to spend money, and don't really think of the repercussions that at some points down the road, you really cannot be spending more than you are bringing in and really live successfully. So those are just some of the money personalities. I just want to sort of explain those. So again, that's why we have different types of budgets. You have to be honest with yourself as to what your money personality is. Doesn't matter to me what it is. You don't have to announce it to the class or the session, but you have to be truthful with yourself, understanding what your money personality is, and then try to figure out if it is a challenging thing. If you're either spending too much money or some people don't spend enough money, you have to figure out how you can work it to get to a nice equilibrium. So let's talk about creating a budget. So there's what I would propose to you are three principles in setting or creating a budget. The first one is you must set realistic goals. If you know you're spending $500 a month on groceries right now, and you start a budget and you write down $300 for groceries, just because you write down $300, your spending is not going to go down from the $500. You'll never reach that budget. Now, if you're spending $500 and you've set a goal of $450 and you set down some goals that you're going to do, such as you're going to shop now using coupons. You didn't do that before. You're going to start using electronic coupons. You're going to go to a supermarket that has lower prices, or you're going to stop buying as much at the local convenience store, which is higher prices. You put a plan together, and it is easy to realistically save $50 a month in this example that I gave, moving your budget from $500 to $450. But you do have to set realistic goals. If not, you're really going to blow the budget immediately. And there's really no reason to even think about having a realistic budget. The other thing, if you spend money in the household with somebody else, you need to budget together, or at least understand what the budgeting is. There's lots of different ways you can approach this. You can each have your own group of money and have some joint money, or you can have all your money together. Lots of different angles. And if there's any questions on this, I'll be happy to go into it a little bit further. But everybody has to understand what you're doing and what the goals are of the budget. And then the third thing is you have to decide what your effort level is. If you do things electronically, you can probably spend less than 15 minutes a month working on your budget. It won't be the most detailed budget, or you could spend, an hour a month working on your budget with more detail, but you have to understand what energy and effort level you want to put into it. And that will also help you determine which of the budgets you might choose when we get to that later on during this hour. So what you need to know all your income and you need to know your expenses. We're going to talk about that in more detail in the next slide. And then as we talked about before, you really need to know your money personality. You need to understand how you interact with money, how you spend money, how you save money, etc. So let's talk a little bit about the income. So we're going to sort of customize this budget for somebody that's in retirement or about to enter retirement in regards to the next couple of questions, but obviously the budget works for anybody. But really, if you think about it, for most people that are in retirement, there are 5 different types of income that we can probably get. The most common one is having Social Security. Some people are fortunate enough to have a pension. So again, you want to think about all the income sources you have as you want to add those together. Some people have a nest egg or their investment income, and they're drawing from that on a monthly basis, bringing some money in from their investment income. They've gone from saving money in investments to now spending money in retirement. Others may have a part-time job or a gig job, or you're working frequently or infrequently, depending on what's going on. So that's the source of income. And then the final one is one that I call passive income. So that's maybe something like you have some real estate property and you're gaining so many $100s a month from your renters. So just something to think about from that standpoint. So the whole goal of this is to figure out all your income sources. So you want to make sure you don't miss anything. So that's why we talk about the income sources. So then you want to figure out what your income is every month. Mohan, I'm not sure if I pronounced your name right. Mohan Dali, is that correct?
Yes, sorry, I'm still struggling with the interface.
Okay.
I just managed to unmute.
Okay, that's fine. So thanks for joining us. We're also on live stream, but please feel free to ask questions as we go.
Thank you.
You can just keep yourself unmuted. That's fine, unless you're going to be talking in the background to somebody else, and you can just.
Yes, there's some background.
Okay. All right. So we're just talking about what you need to create a budget. So we just talked about the income. You want to make sure you understand where all your income is coming from on a monthly basis. And then the next thing is understanding where your expenses are. And you want to break those into a monthly basis, typically.